Hey friend, I heard you bought an iPad to do this and have it look like this. Now you take your iPad out of the box, excited to do all the iPad things, but have no idea where to start. Me and my iPad have been locked in for a minute, and I want to help you get to that point too. So I bought a brand new iPad, and I'm going to go through all the steps that I would take from taking this iPad out of the box to setting it up like this. I want to make sure that all the steps I show you will be compatible for all the iPads in the current lineup. So this iPad that I'm going to use is a 10th generation iPad. Everything that I do with this iPad can be done on an iPad Pro, Air, or Mini. Now my hope is to help you enter your iPad era, but this will be a process. Let's call this the iPad Beginner's Guide. And in this first part, I'm going to go over a few accessories and I'm going to go over the steps of how to customize your iPad to make it yours. Let's get into it. To start off, I have a few accessories that I want to share. Now these accessories are not required, but I do highly recommend them to improve your iPad experience. Now one of the most important accessories that you can have with your iPad is an Apple Pencil or a stylus. I went with the first gen Apple Pencil. The USB-C Apple Pencil also works with this iPad. It actually works with all the iPads in the lineup, but that pencil doesn't have pressure sensitivity, and that feature is helpful when you're using the pencil for writing and drawing. The first gen Apple Pencil comes with an extra tip, a lightning adapter, and a USB-C to Apple Pencil adapter. When purchasing an Apple Pencil, make sure you check the compatibility for your device because all Apple Pencils don't work on all iPads. There are also some stylus on Amazon that can be used with your iPad. I've tried a few out and I found some pretty good ones. I'll link the ones I found below if you want to check those out. You can also add a cover to your pencil to help with your grip while you're writing. There are so many different Apple Pencil covers that you can choose from, not only to protect your pencil but also change the look. I found this cover on Amazon and I like the fact that you can add the charging adapter to the pencil and still be able to charge the pencil without taking the cover off. I also recommend a matte screen protector. I'm telling you, this will save the day. It helps with the writing on the iPad screen, and adding a matte screen protector not only adds protection to your screen, it also gives you more of a paper to pen like writing experience. Another accessory that has helped me with my writing on the iPad is changing out the tip of the Apple Pencil to a pen-like tip. Now this is just an added bonus, but for me, pairing the pencil tip with a matte screen protector creates the perfect writing experience. The last accessory is an iPad cover, and if you're going to be on the go with your iPad, this may be another must-have accessory to help protect your device. The composition cover has always been one of my favorite ones to use. You can pair it with a few stickers and really give it a personalized notebook look. The most important part of this case is the Apple Pencil holder on the side. The first gen Apple Pencil does not magnetically connect to the iPad, so make sure that you have some way of storing your pencil. As you can see here, not all Apple Pencil covers work with the slot for your Apple Pencil on the iPad cover. When going through the setup process, one suggestion I have is to use the same Apple ID that you have on your other devices. This will allow you to take full advantage of the Apple ecosystem and all the benefits that come with it. There are some nice tricks and shortcuts that you can use between your devices when you're connected to the same Apple ID, and we'll go over some of those in part 2 of the beginner guide. Once you've completed all the steps for the setup process, make sure to check to see if there are any system updates that need to be downloaded. Just because your iPad is new doesn't mean the software is up to date. The lock screen is the first thing you see when you pick your iPad up, and it's also the first thing you can customize on your iPad. Now I got all the images that I use for this setup from Pinterest, and I'm going to create a Pinterest board and link it below if you want to use any of them. Now I'm going to the App Store, and there are 2 apps that I need for this setup. The first app that I'm going to download is the Pinterest app, and this is where I get the images from, of course. And then I'm going to download Widgetsmith, and Widgetsmith is the app that you use to actually add the pictures or quotes to your home screen. Let's open up the Pinterest app, and once you've searched whatever the topic is that you want to search for your pictures, I always put the word aesthetic behind my search option. So if I'm looking for something neutral tone, it'll be neutral aesthetic, and it'll bring up, I feel like, more picture options that I would actually use. Now once you find the image that you want to use, it's easier for me to use it in landscape because you can see the 3 dots easier here. So once you turn it in landscape, you see those 3 dots in the top right of the picture. You're going to select that and then download image. Now I'm just going to speed it up here. I'm going to go through and select a couple of images that I'm going to use for this setup.
Like I said before, I'm going to have all these images saved to a board on Pinterest, and the link will be below in the description. You can pause it here if you want to go through Pinterest and select your own pictures, and then meet me back and we'll lay it out together. Now there are two ways that you can add a new lock screen on your iPad. The first way, on this iPad using the finger touch ID, it was a little difficult. You can see me here trying to get it to where I need it to be so I can actually get to the lock screen. And what you have to do is lightly tap on the touch ID so that the screen doesn't pop up. If you hold on the touch ID, it's going to automatically pop the screen open to unlock your iPad. If you touch on it, it'll just unlock the lock. So if you have the Face ID, you just want to unlock the lock, or with the touch ID, quickly touch on it and unlock the lock, and you want it to stay on the lock screen and just hold on the lock screen, and it'll take you to the editing part. Now if you can't get this unlock and keep it on the lock screen combination down, there is another way to add your home screen. You can always go to settings and change your home screen there. Just go to wallpaper and select add new home screen. I'm going to go back to the lock screen. So once you have the lock screen unlocked and you hold on the screen to put it in edit mode, you're gonna swipe that box that pops up to the right until you get to this black box. This is where you add a new home screen, and this is the same pop-up box that pops up in settings when you want to add a new home screen. So now the directions are the same for both. Now Apple gives you a lot of wallpaper options to choose from. You have all these wallpapers to choose from. Then you can go down to the bottom and you have your gradient wallpapers that you can choose from. But if you use the toolbar at the top and select photos, this is where you add in any picture that you have saved on your iPad. And once you select the photo that you want to use for your lock screen, I would suggest sizing it in portrait and then flipping your iPad to landscape and making sure you like the way that it looks in landscape too, because you're not going to have the same view in both. So what you see me doing now is checking both portrait and landscape to make sure the lock screen looks the way I want it to look. And you'll notice when I went to landscape, you can't see the love yourself because it kind of zooms in on landscape. You position the image the way that you want, select add, and in this pop-up window, it's going to ask you, do you want to use this same photo for your home screen or do you want to use another? So if you want to use the same one, pick pair. If not, pick add a home screen. The little toolbar at the bottom gives you the options of all your selections. The first one is your pair. The second one is your color option. So you can choose from any of these color circles and use the bar at the bottom to change the color further after you selected the main color. The next one is your gradient option, and the same thing. You can pick from the colors in the little bubbles and then use the bar to change the different colors of that, or the intensity of the color. And the photo option allows you to choose a photo that you have saved on your iPad. So I'm going to go with the photo and I'm going to select this light goldish color as the background for my home screen. And before you select done, there are a few color filters in the home screen option that you can go through. If you just scroll the screen to the right, it'll show you how the different filters look on your home screen, so you can decide which one you want to use, if any. I'm not going to use a filter, so going back to the original image, I'm going to select done. And once you select done, it's going to give you a preview of what your home screen will look like with widgets and stuff in place, and you can see and make sure that that's the look that you want before you complete the process. The lock screen is added to like a lock screen library, and you can choose between these which ones you want to use. And if you have one you want to remove, just swipe it up and use the trash can icon and it'll remove the lock screen from your options. Now after you've selected the lock screen that you want to use, you can further customize this area. Just select the customize button and then lock screen. And anywhere that you see the white boxes are areas that you can customize. And in the top box, you can choose which widget is displayed here. The default is set to the calendar, but you can add a clock here. You can change it to the weather. You have options that you can just scroll through the list and choose the widget that you want displayed. Also customize the time. Here you have the option to change the font. You have 3 options for the font. You can change the sizing of the font, basically how thick the font is when it's displayed in this time bracket, and then you can come down to the bottom part and you can change the color of the font that's used in the box. In the last box, you can add a couple of widgets. Here, when you select add widget, it'll pop up all the widgets that are available for this area. And when you select the widget that you want to use in the box, it'll give you the sizing options that are available for the widget, and you can choose which one you want to display. I'm going to use the weather widget, and I'm also going to use the battery widget, and I want to use the battery widget so I can see when my Apple Pencil needs to be recharged.
That's it for the customization options in portrait view. When you turn your iPad to landscape, it'll keep everything that you've done as far as the date and the settings that you've done for the time, for the font, for that. You can also add widgets down the side for landscape. And when you first pull up the widget menu, this section in the middle is a group of suggested widgets. So I'm going to select the calendar from here. I'm also going to scroll down the list and I'm going to add a widget for the weather here. And the last widget that I'm going to add in this area is one for the battery. So I'll be able to see what my Apple Pencil battery is in portrait and in landscape. And once you've completed all of your customizations, select the done in the top right and then just hold on the screen that you want to use for your lock screen, and you've selected it and made your customizations, and we're done with the lock screen now. Now let's customize the home screen. So once you get back to your home screen, the first thing you're going to do is remove all of these apps that come pre-installed on the home screen. Now you're not going to delete them. When you hold on the app, the menu is going to pop up and it's going to ask you to delete it or remove from home screen. You want to make sure that you're selecting to remove it from home screen. And there are actually 2 pages of apps that came on this iPad. Make sure that all of the apps are removed from the home screen. That way I have a blank screen to customize the way that I want it with the apps and the widgets that I use. I'm going to show you how to customize this home screen. You do not have to customize your home screen exactly like mine. I'm going to go through the steps to show you how I add the widgets, how you can customize the widgets, how you can change the icons. I'm going to show you the process for all of that so you can customize your iPad the way that you want it to look. Now, I like to do my customizations for my home screen in landscape. I just like having this wider space to work with. So hold on the screen and it'll put it in edit mode. Select edit in the top left and then add widget, and it'll give you a list of all the widgets that are available for you to use for customizing your home screen. When you make a selection from the list, on the right it'll give you a preview of the widget, and if you scroll to the right, as long as you have dots at the bottom that can still be colored in with that black dot, there are different sizes and shapes that you can choose from for your widgets. So make sure you go through the whole list and decide which shape or widget that you want to use before you hit add widget. Once you select add widget, the widget will be added to your home screen. Now you have to keep going back to this edit and add widget each time that you want to add a new widget. So the next widget I'm going to add is the calendar, so I'll be able to get a snapshot view of what I have going on for today and also tomorrow. That's the widget that I chose for calendar. And with it still in edit mode, you can move your widgets wherever you want on the screen. They don't have to be lined up together. So I'm showing you that now. I can move the time over to the right corner and have the calendar in the bottom left, and it's fine. The next widget that I'm going to add is one for the weather. So I'm going to scroll down to weather and I'm going to select the widget. Now you have different size widgets that you can use for weather, and you can also choose which format that you see the weather in. And if your widget has this bottom gray right corner, you can drag the widget using that right corner to resize it to make it small, medium, and large. So you can use that to adjust the sizing of your widget once you have it on your home screen. Now I'm going to add a battery widget using the same size as the weather widget I already added. I'm going to take the weather and the battery widget and create a smart stack by dragging one over the other until the highlight appears. You can add multiple widgets to your stack and just scroll up and down to change the widget. I'm going to add a widget for reminders, and this is actually an interactive widget that you can use right from your home screen, and I'll show you how to use the widget and customize the widget later on in the video. Now I'm going to add one of the Siri suggestion widgets, and I'm going to use the one for the most recent apps. So these are the apps that you use most frequently. It'll show you on your home screen quick access to those apps. All I'm doing now is rearranging the widgets around on the screen to see where I want them and also see how much space I have left. Now there's another widget that I want to use on my home screen that I haven't downloaded yet, so I need to go to the App Store and download the app MD Vinyl. MD Vinyl is an app that you can use to turn your iPad into like a record player. So it's not a music playing app, but it connects to the music app that you use on your iPad. So it's already going to pull up Apple Music, but I use Spotify. So to get Spotify, I'll have to download that. But you'll notice that since I downloaded this app, it came on my home screen, and I don't want that. So I'm going into my settings and I'm going to home screen and app library, and I want to make it where any newly downloaded apps are going to go to the app library instead of downloading to the home screen, because if they come onto the home screen, it's just going to mess your layout up that you created with your widgets and your apps. While I'm in here, I'm also going to toggle off show suggested apps on the dock and app library on the dock. I don't need that on my dock, and I'm going to customize the dock a little later your own. I'm gonna go back to the App Store and I'm gonna download the app for Spotify so I can connect MD Vinyl to my Spotify account. And once you've downloaded Spotify, if you have it on any of your other devices, this is why it's good to have your Apple ID on all your devices. It'll automatically connect to your account. You don't have to re-log in. So once I download the app and it pops open, it goes into my music library and all my playlists and everything automatically come up on this iPad. I'm gonna close Spotify and open back up MD Vinyl, and I should have the option now to connect my Spotify account to the app. So when I select this, it's gonna prompt me, it's gonna walk me through the steps to connect the app. The app will connect and then you'll see the music player come up. MD Vinyl is one of my favorite apps to have on my iPad. I use it all the time when listening to music for nothing more than the vibes. And I love the fact that it actually simulates a real record player. Like you can move the needle on and off of your record. You get to change the cover of the album when you're listening to records. It's just a dope app to have on your iPad. And I'm kind of glad this app is on the home screen because I can show you how to customize it. So when you hold on it and you get this pop-up menu, that first row are the sizing options for turning this app into a widget. So you can select whether you want it to be small, medium, large, how you want the widget to look. You can just select it in that first row and it'll turn your app into the widget. Now this only works if a widget is available for the app. So if you hold on an app and you don't get that first row when you pop it up, there's not a widget available for that app. And you can customize this widget a little more with MD Vinyl. So when I hold on it again, I'm going to select edit widget. And from here, you can choose the color that you want your widget to be. So I don't want it to be that blue color. I want it to be white to match my background. So that's going to give it this, I don't think it's white. It's more of a beige like background. And I want to use that. Now I'm going to search for the Widgetsmith app that we downloaded earlier. And I'm going to use that to add a few pictures and quotes to the home screen. And I'm going to give you a short tutorial on how to use the app too. Make sure you're on the widget tab and there are 4 different sizes of widgets that you can choose from. Select the size widget that you want to add and in the pop-up select photo. From here you can choose from the photos that are saved on your iPad. Use the bottom box to resize or adjust the picture to make sure it looks how you want it to look in the space. You can increase or decrease the size of the picture by pinching in and out to adjust the sizing of the image. Once you're done adjusting the image, I suggest going to settings and then giving this image a name. It makes it easier when you start adding a lot of photos in Widgetsmith to know which one it is that you're selecting instead of just having a number displayed in the list. Once you're done, select save, and this is the process that you'll follow when adding any of your photos to create widgets in Widgetsmith. Once you have all of your widgets created in Widgetsmith, you can close the app, go back to edit and add a widget. Now scroll down and look for Widgetsmith, and when the pop-up comes up, you're going to select the size that matches the widget that you created. Now select this blue box and then choose. And from here you have a list of the widgets that you created. This is why it's helpful to have a name for them, and you can choose the one that you want to add to your home screen. Now I'm just going to add in the other photo widgets that I created to my home screen. I still have enough room to add a few more widgets, so I'm going to go in now and I'm going to select the widget for notes, and I'm going to add that to my home screen. This is a widget that I like to use on my iPad Pro to quickly access my recent notes or any folders that I want to have quick access to in my notes section. I'm also adding a widget for my VIP email list. And in this last space I have, I'm going to add another small photo widget using Widgetsmith. And after moving around the widgets and playing with the layout, I still didn't quite like the way that this looks, so I'm going to replace the notes widget. I'm going to remove that from here, and I'm going to add in another quote widget using Widgetsmith.
And once I get the quote widget in place, I'm also going to remove the widget for the email, and I'm taking them off of this home screen because I'm just starting with this iPad and everything is blank in those widgets. But these are two great productivity widgets, and if you want to see how I use them on my iPad Pro, I'll link my setup for that, my iPad productivity setup, down below. Now I'm going to the App Store and I'm downloading another one of my favorite apps to use on my iPad. I'm downloading the app GoodNotes, and this is the app that I use to digital plan. I download the digital planner into the app, and it allows you to write on your iPad like you're writing in a paper planner. So anything you can pretty much do on a paper planner, you can do on your digital planner. I plan on going into more detail about how I use GoodNotes a little later on in the series. Now that I have the GoodNotes app downloaded, I want to move it to my home screen. So you just go to your app library and hold on the app icon, and you can drag it over to your home screen and place it wherever you want it. I'm also going to add the Pinterest app, and another way to add an app to your home screen is to search for it and drag it from the search bar area onto your home screen. With iOS 18, you can now customize the icons on your home screen. So what you want to do is hold on the home screen, select edit, and from here you want to select customize. And you'll get this pop-up menu. Now at the top where it says small and large, those are the options to change the size of your apps to make them smaller or larger. When you make the apps larger, it removes the name from the app. The next row is where you can change the color of your widgets and apps. So the first is already set to light. Next you can go to dark mode, and then you can change it to automatic. So that just means that it'll change from light to dark depending on the time of day it is. Last option is for tint, and this is where you can add a little color to your icons. Now the background for the tint option is black, and then you can use this color bar to decide what color that you want your icons to be, and the bottom bar is for the opacity of your color. So if you want a more vibrant color, go all the way to the end and you can see how rich the color is with that one. There's also a color match option, so when you select the color picker, it'll take you to your home screen background and you can match the color. And when you select the tint option, it does darken your screen some, so if you want to lighten it back up, use the sunshine icon in the top left and it'll brighten back up the screen. Now let's do a little customization to the dock. So with the dock, you can add in the apps that you use frequently so you have quick access to them. If there are any apps that you want to remove from the dock, just hold on them, and when it gets into edit mode, select to remove it from your home screen like we did previously. And to add an app to your dock, all you have to do is hold on the app and drag it to the dock area, and you'll see it kind of move over and make room for the app that you're adding to it. You can also bring apps down from the app library and add them to your dock. So once you open up your app library, just select the icon for the app that you want to add to the dock and drag it down to where the dock is, and it'll pop up and take the app. Alright, so our home screen is pretty much set up, and we set it up in landscape, but when we switch to portrait, you can also customize the layout in this view too. So you can move around your widgets and apps to look how you want it to look in this view, and it won't change anything in your landscape view. So once you've positioned everything in portrait and you come out of edit mode, when you switch back to landscape, it'll hold the changes that you made, and you'll have two different screen customizations for both layouts. Now let's do a quick tutorial on how to use some of your interactive widgets. With the Smart Stack, you'll just scroll this up or down to change whatever apps that you have in your Smart Stack. The calendar widget, you can select this widget and it'll jump right into your calendar and take you to where you can add in any events or appointments that you have coming up. And when you go back to the calendar, widget, on this widget that I chose, it's going to give you a view of your schedule for today and also what's coming up for tomorrow. The next app is MD Vinyl, and you can just simply hit the play button on this and it'll open up, connect to your Spotify, and begin playing the song. All of the controls on this widget actually work, so you can go back to the last song, skip to the next song, or pause it from the widget. Another one of my favorite widgets is the Reminders widget, and I'm going to show you how to set up a list. So when you open the app, you're going to select Add a List. From here, you can title your list whatever it is that you want to create a list for. I'm going to do a to-do list. Now the icon for your list is customizable. You can change the color on this icon, and you can also choose the image that's displayed in this circle. And there are a lot of little emojis in here that you can choose from for your list. So once you find the one that you want, you're going to select it and then go back up and select save. Now use the new reminder down at the bottom to add whatever it is that you need to add to your list. So I'm going to add in a couple of things to create the to-do list, and then we're going to go back to the widget. To change which list shows up on your widget, hold on the widget and select Edit Widget. In the next pop-up box, you're going to select the list name that's in blue, and it'll give you a list of all the available reminders. From here, just select the list that you want to use with your widget. Just tap outside of this box to get back to your home screen. And now when you complete any of your tasks, you can just check them off and it'll update your list on the widget. Alright y'all, that's it for part 1. Now that we have the lock screen and home screen set up, in the next video I'm going to go over a few iPad settings that you need to know. So make sure to subscribe so you can meet me back here for the next one. Alright y'all, till next time.